So, focusing on goal setting, well, especially in the context of leaders in motion, it isn't just about productivity. It's about intentional transformation. For mature adults stepping into new chapters, goal setting becomes a way to reclaim relevance, reframe identity, and activate your legacy. So here's how this happens as mature adults, decide to reclaim agency. Many older adults feel on the sidelines of the social narrative and are kind of at a point that they feel it's time to decline in their relevance. But goal setting restores a sense of choice, direction, and even ownership over one story. That's what we're doing here in Leaders in Motion. Also, honoring the wisdom from those that have learned and experienced life before us. Additionally, creating emotional scaffolding. Intentional goals help to navigate this transition. For example, retirement, even loss, or reinventing ourselves. Activating legacy is very important to goal setting. These goals become vehicles for our storytelling, mentoring others, and also community engagement. It's a shift from what I did to what I'm still becoming. That's amazing, right? And also building intergenerational bridges. It's so important for us as mature adults to articulate new goals and even model this emotional fluency of resilience. Now, there's also the generation that is up and coming. A different kind of goal setting might be in mind. It isn't just the hustle and bustle of culture and the version of goal setting. It's goal setting with intention and grace and motivation. It's rooted in emotional truth, not external validation. That's pretty powerful. Also, flexible enough to honor and heal things that may have occurred to cause us to be a little doubtful about setting goals. Additionally, we are designing a new way to foster connection, not just achievement. So we need to actually lean in and allow this new opportunity to create yourself, even your relationships and your communities, that these goals will help to move you with intention, right? We want to be intentional. So, why would you like to set new goals and goal setting framework? Because it really helps us to move forward in this intentional living. Goal setting is a powerful tool for personal growth, for leadership, and transformation. But like any tool, it impacts, and the impact of what we do with it depends on how it's used. I often tell my kids benefits are great, but if you don't use it, it's not really a benefit. So we need to look at the pros and cons of goal setting, especially through the lens of this emotional fluency and emotional intelligence that we've been discussing in our new invention of ourselves or the reinvention. So, for example, there's pros and cons of everything. So, the pros, of course, of goal setting, it involves establishing clarity and direction. It gives us a roadmap. It also motivates us. It gives us a new way of motivating ourselves and offering us focus to create a new momentum and giving us something to strive for. Additionally, it allows an opportunity to offer a measurable scale and put that into process, which allows us to actually grow and track the growth And also, it allows us an opportunity to celebrate these milestones. Moreover, it empowers us. It offers empowerment and ownership. This also encourages agency and intentionality. It reinforces the belief that change is possible and it is also within our reach. And finally, with the pros, it gives us an opportunity to set forth legacy and impact. It allows us to establish long-term visioning and beyond just the immediate tasks that we can sometimes get stuck in. Also, it supports intergenerational influence when goals are rooted in our values and our life experiences. So, those are the pros. So, what about the cons? Well, sometimes we can become too rigid and become burnout in our goal settings. This also, for some of us, we become overly fixed in these goals and can cause strife and stifle our creativity and adaptability. And it may lead to exhaustion if we pursue it and we become obsessive with this, especially for those that can be perfectionists. It opens up an area to quit if we're not perfect at it. Additionally, one of the cons of goal setting is it misaligns sometimes with our inner wisdom. Goals set from external pressures rather than an internal truth of our emotions can feel a little hollow. So this can reinforce cycles of comparison and inadequacy. And some of us will be an opportunity for leading us to burnout. Additionally, a con can show neglect of the present moment. Wow. If we become really hyper focused on the future and the outcomes, it may cause a disconnect from what we are going through in the present and the present joys that we can exhibit and find, and current insight of seeing others and being seen. Also, it can cause risks of bypassing emotional processes and really delving into relational depth. Another thing is the con is if we don't really set our goals or meet those goals, it may cause shame and self judgment. This is really a problem for some of us that seek to be perfectionists and overachievers. We might find these unmet goals can trigger feelings and failure and even self doubt. So we need to reinforce these limiting types of beliefs if not reframed with some compassion. And finally, in this area of some of the cons and goals setting, sometimes we can overemphasize this idea of achievement. Wow. It can really reduce the complex journeys of our checklist, and it might even undervalue our rest and being able to have reflection and relational healing as a valid form of this process. So we need to make sure that we have the right mindset in becoming leaders in making sure that we are setting realistic goals in our future. I hope this was helpful. I know it's helpful for me. This is Dr. Kim Eagles with Global Ed and Leaders in Motion.